Ian Hipperson. If you would have said 5 years ago that a kid like me would have this life today, I'd probably laugh at you. But now that I have this life, there's not a day I don't go without gratitude. I started using when I was about 15 years old. I think I was set up to use long before that. I grew up in an unstable environment. My biological mother is a drug addict, and to my knowledge she still is to this day. So we were all adopted separately except for my sister, yeah, we grew up in an unstable environment, failed adoptions, foster homes, on and off the streets starting at 7. You know, my brother and I would fend for weeks trying to find food, different things like that, kind of built into our lifestyle, so we didn't know anything different. I was adopted when I was 9, and so I already had that independence seeking, that street mentality. So it wasn't any surprise that I acted out, and when I was 15 I found alcohol. Didn't really do much for me, and then about 6 months, 8 months later I found marijuana, and at that point, about 6 months later I was using cocaine and ecstasy, and about a year later I was intravenous drug user. I was a heavy user for 5 years. There wasn't really much of a progression. It was I found the drugs, and then I used as much as possible and as much as I could get each night. Well, I never really was that hardcore drug kid. I was more of the arts kid that ended up getting high and got mixed up with the wrong crowd all the time. And so I was putting out the need for something to destroy my life, so I was attracting people that were destroying their lives. So it was very easy for me to find drugs. It was very easy for me, a kid with no money, to obtain them too. So I would end up going to the right parties at the right time. We would go and pull schemes or do things, and we would end up with drugs and alcohol. So I think it was the amount of effort you have to put in to get drunk. I think that was the big problem for me. I didn't really want to put in a lot of effort to have to get rid of whatever I was feeling, right? Reality is I didn't use to, you know, make friends and be in a social environment. That stuff just kind of happened when I was using in the beginning. I used because it felt good. It felt good, it felt better than how I was feeling at the time.